Are you the type of person whose life takes predictable turns, or does it often take a surprising turn when you reach a crossroads? Regardless of how well-intentioned you are, what if the cosmos has other plans for you? Is it better to follow our gut feelings or have a thorough plan before venturing out on our creative adventures? When ideas come to us out of nowhere and push us in directions we never thought possible, what do? Find out how letting go and embracing the unknown can bring about surprising personal progress by continuing your exploration. After you gain awareness, is it necessary to have a certain destination in mind, or may you just let the universe guide you? A lot of people have been curious as to whether you really do have a strategy for the future, or if you simply let your imagination run wild. It could be true for some people in either circumstance. Sometimes things just start to take shape on their own, and before they realize it, they're swept up in an empowering and motivating pursuit. It might begin in a tiny form, and its eventual trajectory is anybody's guess. They had no intention of the consciousness taking over. As an example, there may be musicians who genuinely like performing. Someone may pass by while they're performing on a street corner and exclaim, "Oh, this is great! Why don't you drop by a recording studio?" They can simply be enjoying themselves while playing, and it can naturally progress from there. For some, inspiration strikes abruptly in the form of a mental picture or idea for something that needs making. This "wants to be created" is more accurate than "I want to create this." Something feels more alive and eager to be brought to life through you when it comes to you from a deeper place. Although your current strategy differs significantly from the ideas your ego had while it was confined to its own structures, it is still a plan nonetheless. The wants of the ego constrain the plans that it makes. The plans of the ego are an attempt by the ego to improve itself. Those plans are completely wrong, and if you try to implement them, you will only end up hurting yourself and other people. When we're struggling, it's because our egos are getting in the way. I'm not referring about intensity here. Egotistical schemes inherently have an ulterior goal of furthering one's own interests. There is an element of covert self-seeking when it emerges from the ego. You are the source of the plans I am sharing with you. For that reason, I often state that it's not so much your want to create something as it is the desire for it to be created through you. You have an innate, unconditioned desire to give shape to whatever you can imagine. What gives me the idea that it's true? If you take a quick look around, you'll notice that living forms abound in every corner of the universe. There are billions of different kinds of life on Earth. Form creation is clearly something the cosmos takes pleasure in, and it serves a purpose that our limited comprehension of it makes clear. The ultimate goal of form development remains a mystery to us, even though we can have a hint of why. Absolutely, both the cosmos and consciousness take pleasure in the tinkering with shape. You have the power to make it happen, and it's incredibly satisfying. "Oh, I have a plan," you might exclaim, and then you'll be filled with inspiration. There is no selfishness involved. What this means is that the things that desire to be born from you are not motivated by desires for material gain, celebrity, or personal fulfillment. The point of this invention is not to acquire fame or fortune, but those things may occur as a byproduct. Nobody is out for themselves. However, you may find that whatever it is that your ego was hoping for ends up with you instead. Things may be added on, says Jesus. It would be a mistake to believe that you are responsible for the tremendous amount of energy that is released into the universe. Things will return to you, often in tangible forms as well, if you open yourself up to that universal energy. Things will come back to you if there is a massive outflow, a massive giving, not from you, but as a conduit. Giving to the universe is like receiving from a generous friend. Wealth, then, may be yours to enjoy, but it will remain but that, an addition. Do what makes you happy. Give some or all of it away. To sum up, some people's creative impulses naturally progress into the external world via them, unprompted by external forces. For some, the thought, "Yes, this is what I need to do," pops into their heads and they act upon it. This is the manifestation that I am meant to bring about. I have a strong opinion about that, and then you do something about it. If you don't want to lose your presence, be mindful of the energy field that supports your actions. Even in such setting, ego can take over. You may feel like you're losing control if the process of achieving your goals is fraught with negativity and tension, or if you keep running across roadblocks. Ego tries to rule the show. If you aren't in harmony with your inner force, you'll experience difficulty no matter how hard you strive or how much stress you endure. Your influence rapidly diminishes if you let yourself get agitated, angry, worried, or critical of another person. So that's a solid sign. While you're being creative, stress is bound to come up. To be clear, I'm not arguing that being fully present while creating something is inherently impossible. On the surface, it could look like stress, but underneath, there's a lot of energy. However, the intensity of energy-driving creation is what it really is, not stress. Emotionally charged, yet elated. When you are in the middle of a creative process, you can sense the intensity. When faced with challenges, that intensity takes a different approach than the ego. Involving other people or not, it can either whisk away problems or turn them into something useful. Yes, there are challenges to doing anything, but as I indicated before, there is also the phenomenon of receiving help. Your creation will gain immense power, like riding a massive wave, if it is in harmony with the desires of the cosmos. Shakespeare may have been the author of a poem that begins, "There is a tide in the affairs of men." If you can catch that tide, representing the desire for something to be created through you, and ride that gigantic wave, creativity will eventually occur. Then the wave passes, and there may be a lull before the next surge of creativity hits. It differs from one individual to another. It's exciting and wonderful to be part of that because it represents an entirely new way of being coming to this planet. As we navigate the intricate dance of creation and uncertainty, we begin to see that embracing the unknown is not just an option, but a necessity for genuine growth. Each moment of doubt can be transformed into a stepping stone, guiding us toward unexpected breakthroughs. So, as you reflect on your own journey, consider how you can invite this fluidity into your life. If you found value in this exploration like this video, if you want to keep growing and transform into being more awake, then subscribe now to stay inspired and empowered on your journey. Your journey awaits, and together, we can continue to uncover the magic that unfolds when we step beyond the familiar.